Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to be explaining to you the single responsibility principle, and we're going to demonstrate how it works and the requirements, right? So, this is actually the first part of a four-part series for the solid principle. So, make sure you check out the other videos and subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified for the videos as they come. So right now I'm going to explain to you the single responsibility principle, because this is important, because this is one of the challenges I faced starting as a programmer, because I didn't understand these principles very well. So I jammed functions to classes just to make sure the code works, because when you start off and you learn functions, learn variables, learn loops, and learn classes, polymorphism, and inheritance, you want to jump into creating things without, but if you don't understand the basic principles that govern programming, you're going to run into serious troubles. Some of the first projects you create, you might lose interest and not want to touch them because there is a lot of messy code. So let's just dive in straight. So according to Robert C. Martin, he says that the that a module should be responsible to one and only one actor. So what this simply means is that when we are creating our modules or our classes, we should make sure that they take care of one thing. Maybe the functions in this module should only do one thing and do them well. So what this simply means is that, let's take for instance, in the program we're going to build is a school management program system that is going to output employees details and also generate reports. So let's take for instance, we created this class, and in this class there's a function for generating the employee details, and there's also a function for generating the report. And every school has a finance department and a HR department, right? So when the finance department wants to generate the report, they might want to generate the report without the name of the employee, right? And also leave the name out. Why the HR department wants everything. They want to know the name of the employee, they want to know the position and the salary. Okay? So if we jam this together in a single class, it's going to be a problem, because if the finance department wants a change on the generate report function and they change it, the HR department is going to run into trouble when they try to generate their own report. So, but if we call this class, this function, create another class for that function, then the finance department can call the class and also modify the function if they need to, or the method if they need to. Then the HR department can also modify and still use the same function. So you see, the finance department are using the same function in their own way, while the HR department is also using the function in their own way. So which helps maintain the code, so that when things begin to increase and improve, we will be able to improve our program to suit the new business requirement if anything changes. So this is why single responsibility is very important. And also, if we have a new member in the team, they will be able to contribute to the code base easily without making any mess. Also, it helps reduce the test that is written, and also the bugs as well. So this is very, very important in software development. Okay, so now we will dive in right in and demonstrate this in code, and I hope that will help you understand it and buttress the point very well. So to demonstrate the single responsibility principle in code, I'm going to create a class in this file, Python file I've already created. So the file is going to be school employee class, right? So on this school employee is going to have an init function calling self, but we're going to introduce more parameters like the employee name. No, that should be small letters. Okay, so and the position, oh damn it, position of the employee, and also the salary of our employee. So here we're going to instantiate all these parameters by calling self dot, first of all we'll have name, and we'll assign that to name. So we'll self dot position, and we'll assign that to position. So self dot salary, and we'll assign that to salary, right? So first of all, let us create another function here. The function name should be get employee details. We'll call that get employee details, right? And it's going to call self, right? So here we're going to format the string and return the formatted string, which will have our employee details, the name, the salary, and the position. So here, first of all, we're going to say name, and we use string format and call self.name, right? Comma position, right? We also assign that to self.position. So comma and salary, the last one, and we'll assign that to self.salary. Yeah. So now this particular function does the job of just getting our employee details and printing that on the console, right? So now the wrong way to do it, assuming we have this employee and want this employee to generate the report for this employee, their name, salary, and position, or if they have promotion. And we can also include that function here, but that's not the best way to do it though. So let's create that, generate report, right? So, and this is also going to call self, right? And also we just assign this to another variable called report or object, right? So, and this is, we use the string format again to assign the report the object name. So self dot name, right? And I want this to appear in a new line, so add a new line tag, right? So this is supposed to be in the enclosing double quotes, right? So report, we're going to add other details, which is our the position of the employee and also the salary of the employee, right? So here, position, we'll assign that to self.position, and we also want that to appear in a new line, right? So here, another report, and we'll add that to our details of the employee. So that's the salary. Okay, so now this should also go to a new line, right? So now we're going to return the report. we'll simply return the report, right? So everything looks fine with our program, right? Everything looks fine. So let's test that out. Let's create an employee object and we'll call the school employee class, and we'll have a new teacher in the team. So this teacher now, the teacher's name is Alice, your favorite teacher, yeah? So, and the position, Alice is a teacher in our school, right? So, and also Alice earns up to £50,000 in salary. So let's print Alice. We want to print the employee Alice out, yeah? So we'll simply call the employee class, the employee object dot get employee details. So we want to print Alice's name. Let's run this and see if it runs. Yeah, so we'll have that printed out, simple and easy, right? So there's nothing wrong with our program, it's working. Yeah, so this is the problem with when you're starting out. It works actually, nobody is disputing that. So if we call generate reports, it's still going to print the reports. Well, yeah, everything works fine. So it works for a simple program like this, but as time goes on, that more requirements are needed or other departments are created that they also want to generate reports. Maybe now we have generated a report with the employee's name, position, and salary. So what if the finance department wants to generate the report for Alice, but they don't want to show Alice's name? They just want the position and salary. So now the finance department will change this. And what if the HR department wants all the details? That will be a problem, right? So that is why single responsibility is important. So let's quickly refactor this program and see how to do that better. So you can create a new file or a new class somewhere else, but because this is a short program, we'll create the class within. So this class, we're going to call it employee report. Yeah, that's a good name. So let's call it employee report and call the init function as well. And this is not going to take just self as the parameter. We'll add the employee as the parameter. Okay, so now we've added the employee as a parameter. So let's instantiate the employee element, employee, and I will assign that to employee as well. So now we're done with that. So here we need to also refactor the way we add the report, because now it's now a member of another class, right? So here we're going to call employee dot name, not just self dot employee. So employee dot position and also employee dot salary. Yeah, so now here if we call employee, we need to also instantiate the new class, which we're going to call employee report. Let's call it employee underscore report. Yeah, equal to, what's our class name? We'll call our employee report as well. Okay, so an employee report is going to have the parameter employee to be uniform so that our class will be callable. So now this is no longer going to be just employee.generate report because it's no longer part of that class. So here, this is our program refactored. So if we run this program again, you see it still works fine. But if the financial department wants to generate this report and modify this function, then that is possible and our program will be just fine. So I hope this help you understand the single responsibility principle, because it helps us scale our program and help others to contribute as well. So if you find value in this video, I will encourage you to watch the other videos on these other parts, like the open close principle, Liskov substitution principle, dependency inversion, and all that. So once we complete that series, you'll be able to understand the solid principle. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video if you have found value. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.